The void surrounding the demon sea echoed with deafening explosions, with waves still spreading. "You're simply causing chaos." Xiao Yan, dragging his weary body, slowly flew into the sky. He looked at Xueying, whose body was completely encircled by blood-red demonic light, and spoke sternly. Had he known that her method would come with such a cost, Xiao Yan would have preferred to use demonic power. Xueying, in her current state, whether in appearance or aura, felt completely unfamiliar to him. "This is my choice." Xueying's voice was icy, and the demonic light around her churned and soared, exuding an overwhelming hostility as though warning Xiao Yan to stay away. "The calamity of the demon realm has ended. Come back with me." After a moment, Xiao Yan's voice sounded again, attempting to summon the figure hidden within the demonic light back to him. "I also want to return with you, but it's already too late. Don't come any closer, ah?" Suddenly, Xueying screamed in agony, clutching her head. The demonic energy around her surged violently, as if some evil force inside her was stirring. At that moment, the demon abyss beneath the demon sea rumbled loudly, as if some strange power was drawing Xueying toward it. Poof! With a sound, the demonic light in Xueying's eyes swirled, and her body shot down like a meteor, diving rapidly into the endless demon abyss below. An unfamiliar aura began to awaken around her, slowly corroding and overtaking her body, even consuming her soul. What is going on? Xiao Yan was momentarily lost, turning to gaze at the vast, perilous demon abyss deep within the demon sea. The oppressive atmosphere was palpably dangerous. The power of the demon sword is indeed formidable, but no one has been able to draw it since ancient times for a reason. Drawing the demon sword requires paying an incredibly heavy price. At that moment, the bamboo spirit hermit appeared, holding the demon lute, his words filled with regret. "Bamboo spirit hermit, what have you done?" Hearing this, Xiao Yan's anger flared. Second brother, Domain Lord Xiao, Little E, Grand Elder of the Fire Sprite clan, and others rushed in, looking at the churning, howling demon abyss and the dire situation of Xiao Yan and Xueying. They couldn't help but speak up. This is her own choice. The bamboo spirit hermit handed the demon lute to Little E and then slowly fixed his gaze on Xiao Yan, as if with some hidden intention. "If you still wish to save her, there is one way. Enter the demon abyss and rescue her soul, which has already been devoured and assimilated by the first-generation demon god. Of course, the demon abyss below contains the power of the first-generation demon god, Xueying, and he made some sort of deal. Even someone as powerful as you would have no chance of survival if you enter. But if no one saves her, soon, Xueying will return here as the first-generation demon god." The bamboo spirit hermit shook his head, a demon book appearing in front of him. After some prayer, it seemed he had gained insight into some hidden matters. "Second brother, the demon abyss below is too dangerous. This, Domain Lord Xiao, please think this through carefully." Many fire spirit powerhouses exchanged worried glances. Clearly, with the demon realm crisis mostly resolved, there was no need to spend more effort saving her. Moreover, Xiao Yan's position was now too important for him to make such impulsive decisions. "I know she doesn't want to." Xiao Yan's eyes were resolute as he stared at the demon abyss. Meanwhile, the void outside the demon sea began to twist, as if some strange force was seeping through, spreading outward. "Everyone, please hold off for me for a moment." With that, a brilliant sacred flame radiance rose from Xiao Yan's body. Scorching flames erupted, carrying his form as he shot toward the abyss. As Xiao Yan's body plunged into the demon abyss, the countless realms of the demon realm subtly flashed with blood-red light. A palm-sized black flame furnace, like a hellish blood portal, slowly descended from the sky. From it burst an unprecedented destructive force, making the many demon realm powerhouses who had just survived the disaster grow heavy-hearted once more. Deep within the abyss beneath the demon sea, the darkness was overwhelming, and an extremely terrifying force transmitted outwards. Xueying's body was uncontrollable. Yet, the demon sword in her hand emitted a jubilant vibration, continuously absorbing the demonic power from her body to replenish itself. Meanwhile, Only two bright sacred flames remained, seemingly resisting the invasion of the demonic power. However, the power of the two sacred flames was still limited. No matter how fiercely they resisted, they could not protect Xueying from the relentless corruption. The demonic energy around her swelled, gathering into a terrifying black shadow, which hungrily enveloped her body. Under the devouring power of the demonic shadow, Xueying felt as if she had become a mere sacrificial offering, awaiting slaughter. Her entire body was uncontrollable, like an empty shell. The sacred demon sword contained the mark of the heavenly demon, but within it was also the power left by the first-generation demon god. She had used the sword's power to help Xiao Yan, but now, the first-generation demon god was collecting interest, fully assimilating her. Perhaps this so-called sacred demon sword was a trap set by the first-generation demon god for his resurrection from the very beginning. However, none of this seemed to matter anymore. The demonic shadow surrounding her was undoubtedly powered by the first-generation demon god's strength, and once it fully consumed her, she would disappear from the great thousand worlds. The first-generation demon god would reappear in a new identity. No one would know of her departure, no one would care. A sense of sorrow and helplessness quietly rose in Xueying's heart. Am I going to die? Xueying's body was immobile, her eyelids too heavy to open. All she could vaguely sense was that she was falling rapidly into some abyss, surrounded by an icy coldness with no warmth. The demonic shadow greedily consumed and took control of her body. Loneliness, the unknown terror, and countless other sensations filled her heart with desolation. Even death seemed like an extravagant luxury at this point. This place was a passage to hell, the apparent end of her life. Actually, being siblings isn't such a bad ending. In this life, I finally had someone I cherished. For once, I wasn't immersed in the endless nightmares of hatred and revenge. Even if I could only watch him from afar, it would be enough. I don't want to die yet. I want to live for myself. The power, will, and even soul surrounding her were slowly being devoured by the demonic shadow. No matter how fiercely Xueying resisted, it was in vain. It seemed that everything about her was being slowly erased. Unable to fight back, it seemed the only thing she could do was quietly wait, helpless. Slowly, Xueying gave up her resistance, letting the demonic shadow consume her without mercy. Now, all she could do was use the last remnants of her life to recall the moments of her life, desperately trying to remember that tall figure who had moved her emotions. Boom! Suddenly, a massive gap appeared in the top of the pitch-black demon abyss, as though some heavenly flame had burned through, causing the surrounding demonic aura to retreat in fear. A massive, world-shattering sound emanated from the gap, as if some figure was rapidly approaching. The darkness and demonic aura were slowly devouring Xueying, but the intense heat from the gap caught her attention. Despair filled her heart. At the very end of the demon abyss, near the heavenly gap, there was a figure bathed in brilliant flames, roaring and destroying countless demonic energies, trying to approach and save her. Xueying's spirit stirred slightly. This figure seemed extremely familiar, but she couldn't recall who it was. She tried hard to open her eyes to see clearly, but the surrounding demonic shadow released endless demonic aura, gradually binding and enveloping her. With the last bit of strength in her body, she sent out a probe, hoping to catch a glimpse of this final ray of hope in the midst of despair. Her beautiful eyes barely opened, but she received a clear answer. Above the demon abyss, at the gap in the sky, there was a thin black figure speeding toward her. It was Xiao Yan. At the very end of the demon abyss, where Xueying had first fallen, a bloodthirsty demonic figure was releasing an overwhelming presence, slaughtering countless energies in the abyss. Despite Xiao Yan's actions being reckless, they deeply shocked Xueying. In the air above the abyss, the long-suppressed demonic power began to fill Xiao Yan's body, from his limbs to his bones, blood, and even soul. Everything boiled with power at once. The force felt like a demon freshly released from its cage, eager to showcase its extraordinary power and force all the evil energies in the demon abyss to bow beneath its destructive might. A giant demonic soul shadow loomed behind Xiao Yan. In the dark green pupils, There was a clear look of disdain as it watched the demonic shadow clinging to Xueying. When the aura of the abyss tried to invade Xiao Yan, it was shredded to dust by the soul shadow. Compared to such demonic magic, the dark forces in the abyss were far too weak. Brother guarding his sister is simply the way things should be. The rest, leave it to me. Endless fiery flames surrounded Xiao Yan, burning through the demonic energies in the abyss, purging them completely. No. You have no idea. The demon abyss contains the power of the first-generation demon god. If we keep going like this, we'll both die. The demon sword was used to help you eliminate the sacred demon lord. It was only to stop certain people from the human realm from finding an excuse to target the Endless Flame Alliance. Don't you understand? The revival of the Xiao clan, the entire fate of the clan, now depends on you. A satisfied smile spread across his face, and he spoke with a tone that seemed to plead desperately. I will handle the matters of the Xiao clan. But you are also a part of the Xiao clan, aren't you? Hearing the last trace of rationality in Xueying's voice, Xiao Yan's manic expression finally revealed a human-like smile. Xueying hesitated to face Xiao Yan and shook her head slightly. It turned out that all of this had been her own overestimation. Fine. Then I will strike him down. With those words, pure sacred flame energy and demonic power emerged, filling the heavens and earth. Xiao Yan's gaze was fixed on the eerie shadow behind Xueying. Since this person was determined to eliminate Xueying here, then he would erase them from existence. As for the members of the Xiao clan, they would be protected by him. The demonic energy contained thousands of evil creatures, but so what? With the sacred flame and demonic power backing him, even the countless powers left by the first-generation demon god could be completely eradicated by him. First-generation demon god, I know you're here. Show yourself. Xiao Yan scanned the void with his gaze, but no voice answered him. I must save this person. If you insist on stopping me, I will fight you to the death, even if it costs me everything. Demonic auras of all sizes emerged from Xiao Yan's body, sacred flame fire auras splitting off as well. The entire demon abyss space was overturned with ease. All powerful forces require a price. When she absorbed my statue power, I made a deal with her, a contract. She used the demon sword to help you kill the evil god, preventing the forces of the great thousand worlds from finding an excuse to erase you, the last bloodline of the Xiao clan. Is it so wrong for this god to collect his interest? At the same time, the black demonic shadow that had been lurking on Xueying began to stir. A sinister voice emerged from it. You can ask for any price, but today, I must save her. Xiao Yan's cold voice left no room for negotiation, as if the most arrogant demon in the world had possessed him. How will you fight me? Is it because you're a descendant of the Xiao clan? Or is it your peak six-fold reincarnation stage power? Your strength is indeed impressive, but it can't compare to us peak beings of the great thousand worlds. The demonic shadow swirled as mocking laughter erupted, and the surrounding demonic aura grew stronger, hastening the process of devouring Xueying. Xiao Yan, enough? At this moment, facing the threat of the demonic shadow, Xiao Yan's eyes suddenly returned to their original pitch-black color. Xueying, using her last bit of strength, barely managed to force out a smile. This is fine. There's no need for you to risk your life for me. Maybe, but how can we know if we don't try? Even if I drain every ounce of energy from my body and bleed every drop of blood, I will save her today. In the demon abyss, strange demonic energy flowed everywhere, randomly striking Xiao Yan's body. His grand words stirred his bloodline, making him go wild. Upon hearing Xiao Yan's words, even the first-generation demon god, whose heart had always been calm, was shaken with vicious force. And as Xueying, whose soul had been devoured and assimilated, seemed to fall into slumber, she was suddenly awakened by some kind of piercing stimulation. She instantly broke free from the devouring power of the demonic shadow, her beautiful eyes filled with an expression of disbelief. Tears flowed from her bloodshot eyes, wetting her black gown, and a feeling of sorrow rose within her. I really admire your courage, but she made a deal with me. Now, She is the perfect vessel for my rebirth. Do you think I would let her go so easily? All the demonic energy in the demon abyss began to boil and stir. Layers of black sinister light began to rise, gradually being infused into Xueying's body. At this moment, Xueying's aura underwent a dramatic transformation. It was as if she had completely metamorphosed into a new existence. The magical fluctuations filling her were even beyond the sevenfold reincarnation stage, reaching a completely new level. Eighth tier? Since that's the case, let's fight. Demon! Xiao Yan sneered, his demonic bloodline flooding his entire body. The power within him immediately boiled over, to the point where Xiao Yan himself could hardly control it. Now, his demonic power no longer helped him grow stronger, but it was enough to make countless beings from the worlds tremble. Grand Elder Xiao Yan. Holy King. Soon, Xueying raised her eerie face. The two shadowy figures, though illusory, hid a power that was particularly shocking to the soul. Boom! Without any hesitation, the power of the demon gathered in the fist and struck directly towards the 9-layer demon abyss below. Damn kid! At this moment, the demonic shadow occupying Xueying's body could only let out a fierce roar, then instantly left her body, rushing into the endless demon abyss below. Whoosh! The entire demon abyss fell silent again, though one could faintly sense that there were 9 layers within the abyss, each filled with a terrifying demonic force. Xiao Yan, I'm sorry. The control of her body returned to Xueying as the demon's sword in her hand emitted a violent fluctuation, seemingly welcoming its new master. However, the demonic energy within it was still on the verge of collapsing. Eat. With my blood, I can help you fully fuse the 2 sacred flames and stabilize the demonic energy within. Woo-woo. Her teeth, white and neat, gently sank into Xiao Yan's arm, as torrents of potent and pure blood flowed into Xueying's mouth. Within this blood were elements of sacred flame, demonic power, and other forces. With Xiao Yan's selfless aid, the hidden ailments and dangers within Xueying's body were slowly being addressed at that moment. Although her true strength had reached the peak of the 3-fold reincarnation stage, the unparalleled demonic power within her had already reached the peak of the 6th reincarnation stage. This power, now residing within her, would likely undergo a dramatic transformation as she absorbed it over the long years, resulting in a strength that would astonish everyone. As the blood flowed, Xueying's eyes glistened. The slender figure before her seemed to grow taller in her mind, becoming irreplaceable. It's all right. Don't do such dangerous things next time. Let's go. There's still something I need to handle. I will. Xiao Yan Gij. Swoosh. This is really bad luck. It seems the time for rebirth has been delayed again. The demon abyss began to fade into darkness, a surge of immense demonic power slowly dissipating. Clearly, the whereabouts and even the presence of the first-generation demon god were very strange. Boom! What's going on? As Xiao Yan's figure rushed into the demon abyss, the Fire Spirit Clan's powerful warriors all looked up to the sky, a chilling aura slowly descending. Through the demon sea's void, one could vaguely see that the surrounding area of the demon god palace suddenly darkened. A bizarre, somewhat illusory furnace materialized, as if it were a phantom. It silently emerged from the horizon. The furnace was covered with countless blinding red blood-colored demonic auras, and endless crimson blood rain fell from the sky. The entire world seemed to shake to its core at that very moment. In addition to the demon god palace, numerous other regions in the demon realm were also experiencing this scene. The black flame furnace, like an abyssal mouth wrapped in the aura of death, had just emerged and was mercilessly absorbing all the power between heaven and earth. The terrifying fluctuations within it seemed bent on destroying everything here. This fluctuation, is that the power of the demon sovereign within the black flame furnace? The people around the demon sea turned pale. Bamboo's spirit hermit suddenly looked up, sensing a terrifying fluctuation emanating from the black flame furnace. The black flame furnace trembled slowly, and a demonic figure began to condense within. There was a faint sense of an overwhelming demonic power gathering and compressing within, ready to explode. Once it erupted, it was likely that the entire demon realm would be destroyed. Grand Elder, Little E and other powerful figures exchanged looks, clearly without a good solution at hand. This is the fluctuation of the semi-god technique. The Grand Elder of the Fire Spirit clan had just appeared. His calm gaze was filled with an air of gravity. Even with his strength at the 6th reincarnation stage, he felt an unprecedented sense of destruction emanating from it. Such an attack level was not something he alone could intercept. Gather the strongest from the Demon God Palace and the Endless Fire Domain. Evacuate the area. All warriors at the reincarnation stage and above, come with me. We must use the power of reincarnation to unleash those skills and block this technique from descending. The Grand Elder, with a solemn expression and bitterness in his eyes, ordered behind him. Semi-god technique? Upon hearing the Grand Elder's words, Little E, the Grand Elder, and Princess Qianqin exchanged looks, clearly stunned. A dose skill of the semi-god technique level? The power of such a technique could likely annihilate all beings below the 7th reincarnation stage in the demon realm. It was a large-scale, destructive dose skill. This demon sovereign is a madman. Upon hearing this, the warriors of the Demon God Palace felt the sense of relief from surviving dissipate. The catastrophe in the demon realm had just ended, and yet this demon sovereign is up to something again. This guy clearly intends to use the destruction of the demon realm as a stepping stone to solidify his position as a newly ascended evil god. Ha ha ha. This holy demon lord is such a fool. In his attempt to wield the angel's power, he couldn't even materialize his own evil divine artifact. Now that he has fallen into your hands, it's a case of reaping what he sowed. However, since I started the catastrophe in the demon realm, let me end it once and for all today. In the sky, the black flame furnace rumbled and shook, and amidst the swirling black mist, a gloomy figure in a black robe emerged. His mocking laughter was devoid of any compassion, as if the lives and deaths of all beings here were nothing but his whim. Demon Sovereign? The realm lord of the Demon Realm Center. So it was him pulling the strings. At this moment, powerful figures from the other 4 regions looked up simultaneously, gazing at the furnace illusion and the gloomy figure in the sky, quickly sensing what was happening. Each of their spaces had been locked down, unable to enter or exit. Even the black flame furnace was under this person's secret manipulation. This madman. Attack. Boom. Sky of fire. Demon God's heavenly Xian hand. The crisis arrived, but Xiao Yan, who had entered the demon abyss to save Xueying, had not yet appeared. The Fire Spirit clan and many powerful figures from the Demon God Palace could only act together. Top-tier celestial techniques and dose skills were deployed, forming a thick energy shield to protect the vast land of the Demon God Palace. In the other 4 regions, powerful forces from the Demon Realm and the Endless Flame Alliance joined hands to unleash overwhelming energy to protect the land and the void beneath them. Wait, this looks like an illusion. The true casting point is not here. We need to find the real casting point and destroy it, or no one will be able to handle this situation. Looking at the twisted and eerie scene in the sky, Xun'er and Kai Lin sharply detected something. Casting semi-god techniques was no easy task. The catastrophe gradually descended, and in the various regions of the demon realm, countless powerful beings fought fiercely. Unlike the ghost realm, where they sat idle, these beings were using their actions to protect the world they depended on for survival. At that moment, many powerful figures from the Demon God Palace saw the magical flames of the curse mark flickering on their foreheads. Even the power within them seemed to have received a slight enhancement. Though small, the increase was real. Xueying didn't die? She succeeded? At this moment, many powerful figures from the Demon God Palace were overjoyed, feeling the magic power in their bodies increase because of the sacred flame curse mark. Boom! A vast surge of force erupted from the demon abyss below, instantly expelling 2 figures from it. One was surrounded by demonic aura, wielding a strange and sinister sword, while the other was engulfed in an immensely holy and fierce flame. However, The fluctuation from her body made countless people sigh. Second brother? Xueying? The Fire Spirit clan and others looked at Xiao Yan, whose demonic power was rising, and immediately rejoiced. Take good care of her. I'll handle this guy. Xiao Yan nodded at Xueying, his gaze fixed on the black flame furnace in the sky and the figure of the demon sovereign standing atop it. The demon sword is now fully under my control. Everyone, do not forget the promise you made back then. Xueying's face turned cold as she addressed the senior leaders of the 3 demons and 6 evils behind her. When the catastrophe in the demon realm is over, the entire demon realm will worship you as its ruler. Second brother, the coalition forces we sent to support the other 4 realms have been trapped and isolated. The forces can no longer converge. The scene in the sky is probably some kind of illusion. The demon sovereign is clearly casting a semi-god tier do skill. It seems that only by finding his true body and destroying the casting point can we stop this. Little E quickly appeared by Xiao Yan's side, explaining the method to break the illusion, her demon lute becoming more sinister in her hands. It's indeed like that, but we're running out of time. Do you believe me? A devilish smile appeared on Xiao Yan's lips, one that didn't belong to a mere human. His pupils and the demonic aura around him grew even deeper. Everyone, the power of the semi-god tier do skill is incredibly fierce. If it lands here, the entire demon realm will be destroyed. I ask you all to join forces and create a reincarnation latitude using the power of reincarnation. I will personally crush the demon sovereign here. Either he dies or I do. Xiao Yan's figure seemed to leap through countless obstacles of demonic energy, his voice resounding in the minds of all the beings in the demon realm. All right. With Xiao Yan's fearless aura, countless voices from the vast void of the demon realm began to rally together. The reincarnation latitude space surged violently in the sky, with rings of white energy ripples rising from the void, isolating the majority of destructive forces within this world. Even a do technique at the semi-god stage, if executed within this space, would likely have its power drastically reduced. This was the final hope of countless beings from the demon realm. Xiao Yan, why bother with these futile efforts? Even if this reincarnation latitude space, formed by the power of reincarnation, is established, how will you find my true body's hiding place? What use is it? Once the semi-god technique descends, the destruction of the demon realm will be inevitable. I am always meticulous in my actions. How could I possibly leave you any loopholes? The demon sovereign, standing within the black flame furnace high above, turned and revealed a ghastly smile toward Xiao Yan's position. Everything I have planned will be perfect in the end. The fall of the 5th evil god will lead to the demon clan of extraterritorial evil relying on me. With the power of the semi-god do technique, I will use the destruction of the demon realm to cement my position as the next generation of evil god for the extraterritorial evil clan. My future status will be unmatched. The reincarnation latitude is formed, but now, how do we draw the demon sovereign into it? Countless doubts troubled the powerful beings present. Clearly, this was the most crucial question at hand. Grand Elder, it's up to you now. At this moment, Xiao Yan suddenly called out behind him, his voice filled with a sense of facing death without fear. If this method failed, the price he would pay might be enormous. Leave it to me. Divine Moon Sorcery, Fixed Point Space Transfer. Whoosh. In an instant, the eerie reincarnation latitude space floating before Xiao Yan was suddenly drawn into the palm of the Grand Elder of the Fire Sprite clan. Under the demon sovereign's hesitant gaze, the elder's palm shimmered with a strange, ethereal glow, completely transmitting it out. The void rippled mysteriously, and no one knew where it led. Along with it disappeared Xiao Yan's figure. However, at the moment of his disappearance, Xiao Yan's tense heartstrings finally relaxed. I was right to take the gamble. The demon sovereign's phantom refracted across numerous regions of the demon realm, attempting to stir panic. However, there were cracks that appeared. If a space attribute expert took the lead, they would be able to track down his hiding place through this illusion. But the demon sovereign had already prepared countless countermeasures. Xiao Yan's gamble was simply based on the fact that the demon sovereign didn't understand the Fire Sprite clan, Nor did he understand the sorcery power that came from Lady Yaoji. Boom! At the distant center of the demon realm, the demon sovereign had already laid countless traps. Even if Xiao Yan and others gave their all in an assault, it would still be enough to complete the brewing of the semi-god dough technique, allowing it to descend in full force. The entire center of the demon realm had already been prepared with measures to counter each of their energies. But the Fire Sprite Clan's Grand Elder had used his space power to transport the reincarnation latitude space and Xiao Yan's figure directly to the altar. It seemed that the space power this elder controlled was entirely outside the records of the Great Thousand Worlds, directly ignoring all the defenses the demon sovereign had designed. That was the sorcery power created by Lady Yaoji herself, and in the entire Great Thousand Worlds, aside from the Holy King, few would understand its mysteries. Unexpected. Standing high above the altar, the demon sovereign coldly chuckled as he watched the demonic radiance gradually rise around Xiao Yan. He knew Xiao Yan's background, and even though the semi-god technique was about to be completed, he still harbored some concerns. Using the countless powerful beings of the demon realm center as a power source to execute the semi-god dough technique, the demon sovereign's name is indeed well-deserved. Xiao Yan casually tossed the radiant power of the reincarnation latitude space into the air, spreading it like a vast sky that enveloped the entire center of the demon realm. Even if this dough technique were fully unleashed, it would significantly reduce the attack power from the explosion. To the victor go the spoils, why say more? Sacrifice. Faced with Xiao Yan's swift actions, the demon sovereign roared, and countless tiny black magic symbols surged from his body. The symbols wriggled as they appeared to channel immense power into the furnace. Ah! With the demon sovereign's voice, the magic marks on the foreheads of many beings throughout the demon realm began to glow with a fierce demonic light. Their bodies uncontrollably surged toward the sky, eventually falling into the phantom of the black flame furnace. Though the black flame furnace in the sky was only an illusion, those who touched it were immediately reduced to pure blood, which slowly seeped through the mysterious illusion and was transmitted to the altar at the center of the demon realm, filling the black flame furnace that resembled a hellish maw. The power within the furnace continued to swell, as though it would explode at any moment. The wave of energy it emitted stirred the soul. I have no choice, so it's time to risk everything. At this moment, Xiao Yan's mind was racing with chaotic thoughts, more intense than ever before. Two completely different spheres of light power within him clashed violently, like two ancient enemies, each appearing in the palm of his hand. In the past, Xiao Yan had tried to fuse the demon and sacred flames, but never had it been as chaotic and uncontrollable as today. The fusion began, but it was the third sacred flame that took the dominant position. It seemed that since Xiao Yan had broken through to the peak of the sixth reincarnation stage, the heaven-shaking sacred flame contained within the third sacred flame had started to show its true power. The dark green evil energy beam and the brilliant flames interwoven from the seven sacred flames were easily suppressed by the third sacred flame. An unruly orange-golden fire fox slowly coiled around the demon blood flame, growing more sinister and strange by the moment. Eerie, demonic, and disturbing. The sight sent a shiver down one's spine. Ha ha ha. Xiao Yan, how could the power of semi-god technique be something you, a mere peak sixth reincarnation stage, can unleash? Although the two vastly different powers surrounding Xiao Yan caused the demon sovereign's heart to skip a beat, watching Xiao Yan's pale face as he attempted to use the semi-god technique while his internal power rapidly drained, the demon sovereign sneered. Is the semi-god technique still too much of a stretch for you? Feeling the immense power slipping away from his body and the fused demon and sacred flames intensifying into an evil fire, Xiao Yan's face turned cold. He had intended to fuse the demon and sacred flames and combine them with the third sacred flame to unleash a sacred flame origin skill that could rival the semi-god technique. But in this current situation, it felt like something was missing. The fusion of the demon and sacred flames was immensely powerful, yet when attempting to condense the semi-god technique, a sense of helplessness overwhelmed him. The third sacred flame did indeed contain a dough skill of the semi-god technique level, but with his current strength, Xiao Yan was unable to draw it out. The energy fluctuations from the fusion of the two powers were clearly on the level of top-tier immortal arts. But why couldn't they reach the level of the semi-god technique? Was it that the power to cast the semi-god technique was insufficient? Or was it missing something? Something crucial? What happened at the altar in the center of the demon realm unfolded without reservation before the eyes of countless demon realm beings. At this moment, nearly everyone held their breath. If Xiao Yan failed to condense the semi-god technique, the entire demon realm could be destroyed. However, as they watched Xiao Yan's strange expression and the various powers before him, though terrifying, they had not yet reached the domain of the semi-god technique. Semi-god technique. At this moment, Kai Lin, located in the poison god realm, frowned as she gazed at the semi-god technique displayed by the demon sovereign. The power of the tin-colored heaven, swallowing python within her body, flared with an intense sensation. Xun'er, everyone. Gather all your power and converge it onto me. Help me. Everyone. Use the source of reincarnation within your body to send me your strength. This is the final chance. Kai Lin's cold snort echoed like celestial music throughout the heavens. In an instant, a wave of tin-colored scales surged into the sky. The tin-colored scales were filled with an extremely unique power, and as soon as they hovered in the sky, they reflected across countless regions, containing a mysterious force that surpassed the very heavens. Boom! The aura of fear and death lingered in the air, and after a moment, whether they were reincarnation stage powerhouses or Docian powerhouses in the demon realm, all raised their hands high, sending their powers, nearly 9 levels of Docian strength, life and death energy, and reincarnation power, toward the tin-colored scales in the sky. Countless attributes of power gathered into a massive energy beam that poured into the tin-colored scales, the fluctuation surpassing the very forces that formed the reincarnation latitude. In an instant, within the tin-colored scales, a power identical to that of the black flame furnace emerged. Was that the fluctuation of the semi-god technique? Or was it the germination of the semi-god technique? Xiao Yan, catch it. This is the medium to unleash the semi-god technique's power. As the powers of countless experts converged, Kai Lin's face turned pale as she clutched her heaving chest. She quickly called out to Xiao Yan, whose expression was grim at the altar. The medium to unleash the semi-god technique? Looking at the scales, filled with a terrifying fluctuation that even the demon sovereign feared, Xiao Yan exclaimed in shock. Whoosh whoosh. Xiao Yan let out a deep breath as the tin-colored scales subtly merged into the demon evil light before him. In an instant, the energy that had always been at the peak of immortal arts seemed to break through an unbreakable shackling force, and a towering evil light erupted with an unparalleled, terrifying aura. Having absorbed the tin-colored scales, Xiao Yan's attack was now perfectly poised to enter the realm of the semi-god technique. This bastard! The demon sovereign watched in fury as Xiao Yan's action sent him into a fit of rage. But at this stage of casting, he could not withdraw the power in time to stop Xiao Yan. Countless powerful beings, drained of strength, collapsed to the ground, struggling to lift their heads as they watched the two figures within the reincarnation latitude. Half-god technique, regional furnace. Listen to the final chapter of destruction. With a wave of the demon sovereign's hand, the strange black flame furnace suddenly roared to life, surging uncontrollably. A terrifying wave of demonic energy poured out, and the crimson demonic aura, like deadly lightning, surrounded the furnace. As the molten lava surged, it carried with it an evil, malevolent force capable of devouring all life, hurtling towards Xiao Yan, who stood mere steps away. The destructive power made the entire reincarnation latitude space tremble, and the ground around the altar began to crack and collapse. Anyone touched by that power would instantly be obliterated, their bodies and souls reduced to ashes. Watching this hellish scene unfold, spreading and intensifying, countless demon realm powerhouses' pupils turned bloodshot. The unbearable sorrow in their eyes leaked uncontrollably, blood tears falling from their eyes. The tin-colored scales contained their last ounce of power and hope. If this could not stop the demon sovereign, Then destruction seemed inevitable. 6 paths, spirit connection, demon golem. Seeing the ruthless hell furnace falling, Xiao Yan's eyes suddenly snapped open. The 10-colored scales, demonic power, and sacred flame power fused completely, giving rise to a demon shadow, massive as a mountain, glowing in orange gold. 6 eyes, 6 hands, 6 feet, 6 brains. An array of diverse elemental powers, sacred runes, and the almost insatiable demonic mark flowed across its body. Tear it apart. 2 roars filled with demonic aura echoed, like the arrival of death itself, shaking everyone in the demon realm to their core. Countless powerful beings held their breath, their attention fixed on the white reincarnation latitude in the sky. This reincarnation latitude was formed from the gathered powers of all the strong from the demon realm and the boundless fire domain. Could such an immense restriction fail to suppress the power of 2 half-god techniques? Boom! The heavens and earth began to tremble, countless blood rains poured down, mingled with an intense outburst of demonic, sacred flame, and other forces. Destructive power immediately shattered the reincarnation latitude's restraints, and like rainfall, it poured from the sky, turning the entire demon realm into a storm. But to everyone's surprise, the 2 attacks suddenly came to a standstill. Around the altar, the ground began to collapse, yet the black flame furnace's fall was completely resisted by the demon golem. No matter how much evil power the furnace released, it seemed to slowly pass through the demon golem's body, infusing into it and then slowly being fed back to Xiao Yan. This wasn't Xiao Yan's control. It seemed more like the demon golem's natural action. It seemed to have its own consciousness. Explosions rippled out, and the entire world filled with a strange blood-red hue, as if all life were being instantly annihilated in this chaotic energy. Demon Sovereign, it's over. Sacred Flame, Demon, perish. The clash of 2 half-god techniques, though at a standstill, still maintained a balance of power. However, moments later, Xiao Yan's eyes gleamed with madness as his body swelled, transforming into a true demon shadow, capable of destroying the entire firmament with a single move. No, what is this power? At that moment, the mockery in the demon sovereign's eyes completely vanished, replaced by waves of fear in his mind. The use of half-god techniques had drained nearly all of his power, yet Xiao Yan's power seemed inexhaustible. At this moment, the demon sovereign knew there was no chance left. The concept of victory or defeat had become meaningless. The demon sovereign, until his death, never understood why Xiao Yan possessed the half-god technique, especially the improved version of the 3rd sacred flame origin skill. Why did the 10-colored scales hold the key to unleashing the half-god technique? And he never knew that the 10-colored scales had fully inherited the power of the 10-colored heaven-swallowing python. If not for the insufficient power within, just the 10-colored scales alone could have cast the half-god technique.